Daisy chains and sweet champagne, and 2 days alone with you. Not too far from the city by car, or maybe we can make a more romantic trip by train to the country. It's where I want to be with you for the week.
I don't know what the lighting will look like on that, but good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hope you all are doing well. Today is part 5. I think it'll be part 5. Yesterday I think was part 4. No, part 3. I get confused. Anyway, it's the next part of the Apple Press build. Yesterday we did finish up. The here, let me just show you. You look at these, and T did a really fine job of getting these parts and pieces polyurethaned and looking good and clean. It makes them easier to work with and handle. That they're now most of the way made. We got the tops of them cut out. And just that added little bit of decorative detail. That light doesn't like to be moved in the camera. There we go. A little bit of decorative detail on the top just makes them, kind of pop and stand out really nicely. Very nice. Still a little tacky on that edge. But, alright, so, we got that all done last night. Yesterday was a really exciting day. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the video of us catching the swarm, and it was way up there in that tree. That was exciting, at least for me. Maybe you don't think so, but I do, because this is fun out here. I'll tell you what. Alright, so today I'm going to work on the juice pans. I got to get them cut down to length, width, and all that, so all the boards are glued up. I'm going to get them down, sanded down, get the shape cut out, cut the length, cut the width, all those things that I'm going to do. I'm going to get that done. And then we're going to start in, I'm not sure what material I'm going to use, but I've got to build essentially a lip edge around the whole thing. And that's going to take some real delicate, skilled cutting and measuring of angles and stuff, and it's not easy stuff, but it's what I got to do. That's the project that we're going to start on today. I don't know how far we get. Should do pretty good. We got what's supposed to be pretty nice weather, and maybe a slight chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon, but they dropped the percentages, so hopefully we can put in a full day on these, because I need this done, these done, and then we'll work on the long handles in order to get the body of the press to go together, because these will actually get screwed into these cross beams here with some stainless steel screws. We'll get that done here. T's getting some stuff together on her end, and then we'll get started, and then we're going to have fun with these. So stay tuned. It just occurred to me, take my headset off so I'm not screaming at you. It just occurred to me, some of you are new to the channel and you may not have known this, but T and I do everything off grid here, okay? And so right now it's a big, beautiful sunny day, and we have the ability, I've got a solar panel sitting right here. There's a big old 375 watt. And then over here where T is showing you is our inverter and our batteries and charge controller and all that. Now, some of you made comment about, well, Erin, we'd like to see you doing it because most of my videos, I don't always, I tell you what I'm going to do, and then I show you what I've done, and I don't necessarily show you what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll add in a few clips, but the problem is, a lot of times we'll run the generator, because some of my tools won't run on this particular inverter, but we still run what I can off the solar. And then there's days when it's cloudy that we have the generator in order to cover the times that we can work and those periods. But everything that here is done off grid in this beautiful place that we're at. So just thought you guys might want to know that. You can do anything you want to off grid that you could do if you were on grid. We are completely self-sufficient in the way that we can make and build. Well, we've done the whole place, haven't we? She just nods her head. Say yes.
Yes.
Yes, everything we've built and done, we've done it all off grid. So when we are making these apple presses, it's done from that energy. So back to it. Well, we had a forced break here. You can almost kind of see the top edge of the front line. We had a front come through. The wind has been gusty crazy here. Got really black dark out. Thunderstorm. I mean, this sky was black. It rained for a few minutes, although you can't quite tell on the ground. We had to batten down the hatches because the wind was much crazier than it is now. We sat inside, watched a few videos on YouTube, and then come back out and finished up this step. Get the lighting to set right. Now, as you can see, I have pretty much got the bottom of the juice pans shaped in what I need and what I want to set. There's some minor variations in them, but that's okay. Each one is individual, and none of them will ever be 100% exact. But you can see I've got the octagonal shape on the ends, and you'll see what, if you've seen the picture, the thumbnail, you'll see why, and that's so that the barrel can fit up in. Yeah, it's just part of the way things work. Easiest way to explain it. So those are ready to go. I now need to make the material, and I'm going to start, I think, with this piece, but this I don't think is going to be enough. So what I want is 1.5 inches wide by 1/2 inch, so I can rip up a bunch of them, and like I said, I'm not sure I'm going to get enough out of that to go on to glue onto the edge here, so I have a 1/2 inch lip all the way around. So these are 1 inch thick. That'll give me a 1/2 inch that sticks up. That'll essentially be the holder of the juice so that it won't just flow off onto the ground. So I got to get that on there and made, and then start cutting and gluing. And you're going to dig out the brad nails, right?
Yes.
All right. Good gracious, the lighting. Oh well, we'll be back in a bit. Alright, so where'd it go? Here it is. So I started doing the math on this. This piece does not have enough material in it. I started at 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. I can get 6 pieces out of that. And that is not going to be enough to go around all 3 of those. So I knew we were going to use this piece to get our press plate out of. And you can see this thing's a monster. It's a 1.5 inch thick by 10 and change. Let's see what it was. 10 1/4. It still has the rough sawn edge on it here, but we've planed it down when we planed all those boards down to get it into a good usable piece. So I'm going to go ahead and just get what I need to out of this. So I already know I need to get the press plates out of there, so I'm going to cut 3 square pieces, and later I will take them to the bandsaw and make them into round pieces to go on top of the pulp when you go to press it. We'll get those 3 cut out, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut out another piece about this long in order to have enough length to essentially have enough material to run all our little pieces around the edge of the juice pan. So let me get that done next. He went in to doctor me up because I nicked myself on the brand new bandsaw blades over there, and boy, those things are sharp. So this left hand's taking a beating. You can still see it swollen from yesterday's bee sting. It's as fat as the dickens. Looks like I should be punching something. Anyway, alright, so moving on to the next step. Alright, so I went ahead and I got the 3 blocks there. Those will be the press plates. But I got to thinking about this, and I wanted to have this discussion with you for all of those who are my fellow woodworkers and will understand the conundrum that we have here. And how do we go about that? Whenever I get into cutting large stock like this, and man, this wind is crazy. Crazy. I hope it isn't upsetting. Wow! Holy moly. So whenever we get into cutting stock like this, you always want to be as efficient as possible, because this is highly valuable stuff. Now, I mean, some of you know that. Some of you get it. But here's the thing. I've got to have enough. Can we get it focused? I got to have enough to go all the way around those. And I can do it one of 2 ways. And one way is every time I cut this, I then limit myself to the remainder the most as possible. And I want to leave my stock as full as possible. So I could come in here and measure the half the length all the way around, and come down here and cut some long strips, and do it in, and have enough with each cut to make half a wrap, essentially. But what I'll end up with is about using this much, and I'll still have this left over. Or because I've got such a long piece, or such a wide piece here, once I make this cut, I can cut it to the maximum length that I have, and have a whole lot more cuts, and use up that piece fully, and then have my short pieces come out of what isn't as full length as possible. I know that's a little bit complicated thinking, but whenever you're dealing with really valuable stock like this, you really want to think about how you cut it and just not run into it. You want to make sure that you're getting as full a piece as possible. So when I cut that circle, it's going to consume the whole piece here, and all I'm going to have is these little corners cut off right here. Same thing here. When I make this cut, I want to maximize my use out of that, so I'm not ending up with waste too much more, because there's still a really nice piece of wood here, and the longer I can leave it, the better it'll be. But that's being extraordinarily conservative in your thinking well ahead of your actions before you take them. So that's part of what we do here. Right, we just finished that batch up, so this is what we got out of it. And I actually ran them a little thicker, not realizing it, but that's okay. We can use whatever width we want. That's the nice thing about doing this the way you want. So a little we're down to actually 5/8, and we got 13 pieces. I'm guessing I'm probably going to need 3.5 for each one, just roughly figuring out. So it's going to be tight. We'll have to see how close we get. If we make these cuts right, we should be just fine. Some of them came out with really spectacular quarter sawn. You won't see it until it gets polished and whatnot. I mean, there's some amazing grain, but planed both sides, and got them nice and flat and smooth. You can see that they all kind of squeeze right together nicely. So time to start gluing it all up. Let's do it. Alright, it's been a weird fun day. We're making some progress with this, and I wanted to show you how we're getting the call it a drip edge, the edges of the pan. I mean, this would make a heck of a bedside table, but let's see. Let me show you what we got going on here. I think I can get one more out of that. Yes, I can. Would you look at that? So one piece, two piece, and the third piece is going to go almost all the way around, which is good because it means I've got enough material. I made enough material to do it. Good math, you know, always helps. But let me show you how I'm doing this. All right, so as you can see, come down in here real close so you can see. All right, so I've got my mitered edge. I put this piece in. I put this piece in. They're nice and flush. Now I just need to cap this end off. And I get this over here nice and flush. Look how nice and flush. Beautiful. I mean, perfect lines. I love woodworking on this level. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to mark that right there. And I'm going to come down here, run it off of solar. A little slow starting because of the pickup on it. You'll hear it in the way it kicks on there. Now let's see what we did here. And I always like to sneak up on it, so I'm going to feel that that's nice and flush. I'm going to come over here on this end. You see it come around a little further there. I'm almost there. So we're gonna sneak up on this, and I gotta do it again. Get out of here. All right, nice and easy. Right here. All right, get you down on here, nice and flush there, and look at that. We are just about to, actually I probably went just a hair too far. Yep. Now, that's doable. That's close enough. All right, so the next thing I got to do is where's the brush here? Clean off that. And what do we do with the, oh, it's right. Where's the glue? Where's the glue, honey? I can't find.
And snake you bite you?
Yeah, it bite me. Come on down here. Nice and gentle. Really got a little bit more on here. Meat on that one. Actually, take some off of there because I don't want to overdo it. I want just enough to set that joint, and then I can get you on there. And if I did that right, that works good right there. There, like that edge. Ooh, we can slide it. That's flush. That's flush. And I could come around over here, and I can go pow. That's flush.
Ow! You just got yourself.
Yeah, I popped myself. Ah,
It went
we
under.
did have these two. I was at an angle. Ah, shucks. Well, we'll have to grind that down. Sometimes you hit the grain, and the grain, you see, all right, so look at here. I didn't catch that. You see how that grain's going in there? These brads, every now and then I won't pay attention and give it a little angle backwards, because I was definitely centered here. But it'll hit that grain and it'll roll out, because that's what both of those did. And that happens, but that's the bottom. And it'll be okay, because you'll never, you ain't gonna see that part. You don't know that. Anyway, you can see what we got going on here. Actually, I'm gonna put one more in here as soon as we get done recording, so maybe if I don't mess up, you know, you don't see that mess going. All right, anyway. This is what we're doing for the juice pan. When we get done, you know, it'll get sanded a little bit more, get the edges kind of knocked down just a little bit, and then we'll poly it, and that's it. This is the juice pan. Inside of here, we'll have a pallet that goes in here that sets the pressing barrel on top of, so the juice can flow through. You'll see all that good fun stuff. It's coming soon. Anyway, that'll be it for this video, and I think what I'll do is complete this portion of it before we get back into the next part, and that'll probably be about what, part 6. You keep up with it better than I do.
Okay.
So, and then at that point we'll work on making the handles. So once we get the juice pan together, we can make the handles, and then we can deal with the lower assembly of the whole unit, and that'll be a little bit challenging. So lots of fun things coming. Stay tuned. Please hit that like button. Help me with the algorithms. Working hard for you here. Y'all take care. Thank you so much for hanging on this long, and we will catch you on the next one.